what a crazy week on Wall Street. Not all of Wall Street. It was sort of a typical up and down, right? But we know one or two stocks at least were pretty wild and crazy. And we're going to get into that in just a second. You know what would make it even less wild and crazy, though? If you need a break, is for you to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that little bell so that you get the videos that we put out. That would really help us to grow the channel because YouTube will push it out to the audience, and more people will get to see more videos from us. So we really appreciate you helping us out by doing that. Now, what happened this week? Well, as we all know, if we've paid attention at all to the stock market, GameStop has been shorting. And because people were shorting, other people got in the market and bought it because they thought it was a good stock, and it skyrocketed. I mean, GameStop back in the summer was at $5 in July and August. And now, this week, it was up over $400 at points. So it's been a pretty crazy ride for GameStop and for anybody who's involved in it on either side, whether you got involved as a short seller or whether you got involved as someone who really liked the company and wanted to buy the stock, or some of the people may have been realizing that it was going to run up because of the short squeeze situation, and they were trying to jump in and make a profit off of the short squeeze. So no matter what one of those you fall in, or maybe you were just sitting on the sideline and watching, taking it in as entertainment, it has been one crazy ride this week. So here's the thing, the background, and then at the end, stick around and I'll give you my thoughts on whether I think that next week is going to be as crazy for GameStop and other stocks as this week was, because it might be. I don't know. We'll see. So here's the thing. When GameStop was at $5 back in the summer, there were some people out there who were looking at it and saying, you know what? This might be a turnaround opportunity for this company. If you remember, Netflix, back when it started, used to mail out CDs to people and rent videos. And Netflix was cratering because people were going away from DVDs and rentals. And so Netflix transformed itself into the company that we know today that's a streaming service, and it's wildly profitable and it's a huge business. And so GameStop has largely been a brick and mortar operation, which is even older than the Netflix model of mailing things out. And it has started to lag a little bit because it's one of very few specialty brick and mortar stores or companies that are still left out there in the space, in any retail space. And you think about how much we go to the mall, how much we go to shopping centers now, and it really doesn't bode well for GameStop. But there were some people back in the summer and before that who understood that it could be an opportunity because gaming's not going away. Gaming is becoming more and more popular and taking up more and more of a pivotal role as a pastime for more and more people in the United States and around the world. So that's not going away. People need the games. People need the consoles. They need the controllers. They need all of the chairs and the desks and the setup that goes with it. And where do you get those things if you're a gamer? A lot of people are buying them from GameStop, which is a retailer devoted to gaming. And so a lot of people back in the summer when the stock was really cheap were looking at it and saying, you know what, this is a turnaround opportunity, and we think that this company is going to be worth something and follow according to the Netflix model. It's going to transform itself from an old business model to a new business model and really be worth something in the future. So those people got together. They put out a thesis about where the stock they thought was going to go. Some other really transformative people in industry got involved. One of them was the founder of Chewy.com, which was a big pet food supplier that is only online. Got involved with GameStop, bought enough shares that he controls about 15% of the company now, and got 3 positions on the board of directors. And so his entire mentality, his entire thought process mirrors or goes parallel to the idea that GameStop is in a transformational period and it can really be something in the future, but it has to transform itself into an online presence rather than a brick and mortar presence. So that is the background to all this. And when it was really cheap, you had a bunch of people, investors and hedge funds, who were shorting it, which if you don't know what shorting is, check out the other video that I'll link down below, and it will show you exactly what shorting is. So you have a bunch of hedge funds out there who are shorting. Now, here's the thing. The backstory to the shorting and why you've got people like Elon Musk and Dave Portnoy and all of these other people getting involved in commenting on what happened to the short sellers who were the hedge funds this week. Because this year alone, short sellers have lost about $40 billion by shorting Tesla. And so Elon Musk doesn't have any love lost when it comes to the Andrew Leffs and the Melvin Capitals and all of those hedge funds that were shorting GameStop, because they had already shorted Tesla, and it made Elon Musk so mad that you can actually go on Tesla's website and buy Tesla shorts, which is hilarious. He's just making fun of the people who bet against him for shorting Tesla. And so now that someone else has drawn the ire of the short sellers in the name of GameStop, Elon Musk is jumping in and saying, "Oh well, we think that GameStop is going to go to the moon too." So he's jumping on that bandwagon because he has been the victim, and Tesla has been the victim of short sellers. And when I say victim, what I mean is, if short sellers get involved in a stock and they come out and they say, we think the stock is not worth what it's trading at, so we're going to short sell it. Well, that automatically makes other people, investors, think that, well, maybe the stock isn't worth as much as it is. So typically that's going to drive the price of the stock down, and that's how short sellers make their money. When the stock drops, they make money off of the difference between what it was and where it drops to. And so a lot of times they can just come out and make an announcement that they have bought all of these short sells in a certain stock, and it automatically drives the price down. Well, is that manipulation or not? We don't know. The SEC hasn't said it is. They haven't said it isn't. So who knows what it's going to turn out to be. But here's what happened specifically with GameStop this week. Those short sellers who were shorting GameStop lost $20 billion since the 1st of January. $20 billion in 30 days. That's a lot of money to lose. And so it has really taken a toll on them. Some of them were so close to shutting down that they themselves had to go out and borrow money or get additional investments. One firm in particular had to get almost $3 billion worth of capital infused into them just to stay afloat. And so they've taken such a beating this week, including $8 billion just on Friday when it rallied up. So it ramps up because people are buying it. The short sellers then have to buy the stock to cover their shorts. And so they keep buying it, driving the price higher. When the price goes higher, the people who really actually like the stock buy more of it because they see it going up. And it's just a cycle that perpetuates, and it goes up and up and up and up and up like a stair. And so here's where we are at the end of the week. What do we think about next week and whether it's going to continue on this path or not? One of the things is that the person who started this by publishing the thesis on GameStop that it was really going to be a good investment long term, he has actually continued to post on Wall Street Bets what his portfolio is and how much he's holding and what he's doing with his position in GameStop. And at the end of the week this week, he was up $47 million. $47 million in just GameStop. And he said he's holding. He's not going anywhere. So he's not going to take his profits and sell off and run. Now, if you look at Wall Street Bets and see some of those comments, those people aren't selling either. They're going to hold on. They're in this for the long run. And every time it dips down a little bit, they're going to buy. So you combine that with the fact that if you actually look at the data, if we look at the data on how many shares are still being shorted of GameStop, it's still well over 100% of their shares are being shorted, which is crazy. So if you look at, so we've looked at the shorts, how many shorts are still out there? Well over 100%. And then we analyze the data about how much of the hedge funds have actually sold their positions. Now, they came out and said that they've closed out their positions. But if you look at the data on the number of shorts that are actually out there, only about 5 million or 8 million shares have closed shorts. That means that it's the same amount of shorts at the end of the week outstanding that there were at the beginning of the week outstanding. And so the people on Wall Street Bets know that. I promise you. They know how much short is out there in the market. And so they're looking at that same data and they're saying, these guys are still buying these shorts. They're still shorting this stock. They're still betting that it's going to go down, and we still like this stock. So we're going to keep buying it. Every time the price dips, we're going to buy more. So that's going to cause the price to dip. They're going to buy more. The price is going to go up. That's going to cause the short sellers to have to buy to cover, which is going to cause the price to go up, which is going to incentivize people who like the stock to keep buying it, and it goes on and on and on. So the fact of the matter is that I think, my guess is that this coming week is still going to be a moonshot, as everybody on Wall Street Bets likes to say. It's still going to be a going up, a ride to the moon for GameStop. Now, does that have anything to do with the value of the company? I don't know. Because if you look at the comments on Wall Street Bets, everybody wants to hold. Everybody thinks it's a good stock, but there's also a lot of people who are commenting on the general inequities of the system, because this week we also saw that the hedge fund traders and the big institutional traders could continue to trade all the time as much as they wanted all week, but the small individual retail investors were locked out from trading at various points during the week. And so that has become almost an outcry for, let's keep this going until those institutional investors and those hedge funds are broken, and we can finally say, this is a good stock, we like this stock, we're not fooling around. So there's a mix of sentiment on Wall Street Bets. But I've not seen anybody on there who has said that they're just going to sell when it gets to a certain price, or they're going to, they're just going to take their profits and run. And many of them have profited a lot. As I said, the guy who started the whole trend went from a $50,000 investment to now that $50,000 investment is worth $47 million. So that's a pretty crazy investment upswing. So I think that next week is going to be just as crazy. Now, I don't know whether we should invest, in GameStop or not, but just watching it from the outside, it is crazy, and I think it's going to be just as crazy next week. So tell me what you think. Leave a comment down below in the comment section and let me know if you think it's going to be crazy next week, if you think it's done, if you think the hedge funds have won and broken the Wall Street Bet people, or if you think Wall Street Bets has broken the hedge funds, and tell me why. So let's keep the conversation going down below. And also, before you go, do me a favor, smash that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to grow the channel over the course of the year. It's a great little project that we have going, and we'd like to be able to get the YouTube algorithm to push our videos out, and you can help for the low price of just smashing the like button. So we really appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video.